Hi, I'm Heather. Welcome to class. Today we're going to work with challenging our balance in some standing poses. Before we begin, if you find this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. We're going to use a rolled up mat underneath our heels to work with strengthening our feet, the arches of our feet, muscles in our feet, as well as the ankles and the lower legs. So if you've only got one yoga mat, then roll that one up so that you can stand on it. We're going to place the heels on that rolled up mat and bring the inner feet together. So we're standing in Tadasana. So ankle bones, big toe bones touching, if you can manage that. And then spread all the toes apart. See if you can lift the toes up. Keep the big toes touching. Spread all the toes, particularly see if you can spread those little toes out wide. Fan the toes and lengthen the toes as you press down through the toes and the balls of the feet. As well, we want to feel that we're still in the heels. Press your thighs back and press the buttocks forward. So make sure that when you're standing, you're elevating the heels. You're not then sticking the buttocks back. Thighs press back, buttocks press forward, tailbone lengthens down, pubis to navel lifts up. Bring in a firmness to the pelvic abdominal area. In fact, let's interlock the fingers and hold the lower abdomen. So between the pubis and the navel, place your interlocked fingers and lift up. So as you lift the flesh in that lower abdominal area, you're lifting the organs as well. Draw the front pelvic bones up and encourage the lengthening of the lumbar spine, tailbone down. Shoulder tips roll back and down. Elbows lengthen down, not out. Stay with this and observe the oscillations of movement in the ankles, in the feet, as your body is working with its own balance on 2 feet, clearly, before we then challenge ourselves with balancing on only 1 foot. Let's stretch down to the fingertips, but maintain the lift in the pelvic abdominal area, and then slowly lift the right foot up off the floor. Keep the body in Tadasana, and as you raise the right leg, perhaps you can bring your thigh parallel to the floor, and you'll notice the oscillations of movement in your left ankle and foot as you're refining your balance. If it's really challenging, you could potentially stand close to a wall so you can put your fingertips on the wall. Put that foot back down. Anchor the heel. Tailbone descending. Then work slowly as you lift the left foot up off the floor. Perhaps you can bring your thigh parallel to the floor. And again, we notice the oscillations of movement now in that right foot, the right ankle, the lower leg, the muscles there becoming stronger. We notice perhaps one leg, it's easier to balance than the other. And then replace your foot. Back in Tadasana, inner feet together. And I'm going to turn around, still with my heels on that rolled up mat. So I'm facing the camera and I'm in Tadasana, preparing now for Vrksasana, the tree pose. So now as I mirror you, bend the right knee, turn the leg out, lift the foot up, catch the ankle, and then drive your heel in first. Heel into the inner upper left thigh, then the ball of the foot, then the toes. Lengthen the toes down along the thigh. But as you grip your foot to the thigh, then reciprocate with this thigh gripping the foot. Suck the outer hips in. Descend the right buttock as you squeeze the buttock forward and lengthen the right knee down, hands together. Lift up your chest. Press your shoulder tips back and down. And go on zipping the navel up. Lower the leg. Back to Tadasana, feet together. Feel the line there, the ankle bones, big toe bones touching. Again, tailbone down, pubis to navel up. Then slowly transfer the weight onto the right leg, bending the left, turn the left leg out. Catch the ankle, squeeze your heel high up the inner, upper right thigh. Heel first. So see if you can get that feeling of digging the heel in, then the ball of the foot, then the toes. And as you squeeze your foot into the thigh, reciprocate with this right thigh squeezing back into the foot, and you're sucking the outer hips in. Roll the left buttock down as you squeeze the left buttock forward to lengthen the left knee down. Hands together. Chest lifted, shoulder tips pressed back and down, but you're not pushing the ribs or the belly forward. Contain the lower front ribs, contain the lower abdomen. Then lower the leg, back to Tadasana. Now, to give the feet and ankles a little bit of rest, let's come off that prop and establish a shoulder width or hip width stance, feet parallel to each other. Be in Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Raise the arms, lift up through the front pelvic bones, the lower abdomen, and particularly the sides of the trunk. So imagining your arms are beginning here at the waist, lift the entire circumference of the ribcage up. Look up as you interlock the fingers, press the palms up to the ceiling, squeeze the elbow tips in. Then look down, chin to the chest. Go on lifting the chest up to the chin. Then head to neutral. Undo the cross of the fingers and then swap. Opposite interlock. Palms up, look up. Lift the chin, but don't drop the head onto the back body. Keep some space there between the base of the skull and the back body. Then head through to look down. Chin to chest. Lift the chest up to the chin as you press the forearm bones back. Then head to neutral and lower the arms. Now we come back to stand on our height. So heels are on that rolled up sticky mat. Peel the toes apart and press them down. So the toes lift up as you plug the heels into your rolled up mat. Big toes touch, press the big toes down first, then fan the toes out, little toes down, and the 3 middle toes down. Tadasana. Again, I'm going to turn around and be sideways to the camera. And once more, we've got our heels elevated. We're in Tadasana. Pick up the right leg, and as you draw the knee up, interlock the fingers either around the shin or behind the knee if your knee doesn't like flexing. But you draw the knee up, you deepen the crease between the thigh and the torso, and you press the left thigh back. So just watch, the higher you lift this right knee, the more that left knee might want to bend. Press the left thigh back to establish a straight leg. Shoulder tips roll back and down. And use the lift of the right knee to feel into the lengthening of the lumbar spine. Then lower the leg, replace your heel. Dig the right heel down into that rolled up mat as you then pick up the left leg. When you catch, whether it's interlocking the fingers around the shin or behind the knee, take the opposite index finger on top. Then draw the knee up, roll the shoulders back as you go on lifting the knee up, deepening the thigh crease. Working with the depth of hip flexion, notice that the higher you intend to lift that left knee, the more the right knee might want to bend. So press the right thigh back in an effort to straighten the right knee. And then slowly let's lower the leg. We'll do Uttanasana now with the heels up on height. So take your feet a little wider than hip width. Hands on the waist. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge forward. And you'll feel the weight becomes very predominant in the balls of the feet. Try not to let your weight sit too far back. Hips vertically top the ankles here. If you need support, put your fingertips on the floor or put your hands on bricks. But if your hamstrings are supple and you can go deeper, you can catch behind the heels, the ankles, and draw yourself down. Lengthen the torso down towards the floor, but lift your shoulder blades up, away from the head side. Keep your kneecaps gripped. Front thigh muscles firm, quadriceps firm as the kneecaps grip. Then raise the head up. Slowly start to raise the torso up, hands onto the waist. Inhale and stand all the way up. Then let's step the feet together. So again, we're in Tadasana with the heels on height. And we'll do Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, which is the extended hand to big toe pose. If it's really challenging for you to catch your big toe, put a belt around the ball of the foot and hold on to the belt. Left hand on the waist. Bend up the right leg and reach your right arm inside the right leg. Catch the big toe and reassert the lift of the chest as the knee lifts up. Same hip flexion we were working on just before. Then stretch the leg forward, straighten the knee as much as you can, and see that this left leg is straight. And as you pull on the big toe, draw the right shoulder tip back and down. Zip the navel up and press the head of the right thigh down. Bulk of the left thigh back. Bend the knee. Replace the foot. Dig your heel into the mat. Right hand on the waist. Bend up the left leg. As you transfer your weight onto that right leg, bend up the left leg, catch your big toe, reassert the lift in your chest. Draw the knee up high as you deepen your hip flexion. Then stretch the leg out straight. Keep the head of the left thigh pressing down as you pull on the big toe, draw the left shoulder tip back and down. And then work the bulk of the right thigh back. So the standing leg is straight. Bend the knee, lower the leg, Tadasana. Now step off your mat. We're going to move this rolled up mat to one side to work with Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon pose. You may like to have a brick underneath your hand, or you can simply work fingertips to the floor. But let's have the mat to the right side so we can come and balance on the right leg first. I'm going to mirror you. Place the right heel on your mat, ball of the foot broad, toes spread, bend the right knee and find the floor or put your hand on a brick as you reach the right hand down, left hand on the waist. Point the left toes, prepare to weight bear on the right leg. Keep the right thigh externally rotating. Inhale. Exhale. Raise the back leg, straighten the right leg. And as you raise the back leg, lift the muscles of the inner thigh up into the thigh bone. Turn your chest away from the floor. Roll the left shoulder tip back. And move the right armpit chest forward as the left chest turns up. So again, we notice the fine-tuning of our balance, the oscillations of movement in the standing leg, the ankle, the foot. Top arm up if you're steady. Turn the chest. And lengthen through the inner left foot. The ball of the big toe stretching away from the groin. Bend the right leg. Stride the left leg down. Come to stand up. And let's take our rolled up mat to the other side or simply turn yourself around. Left heel on the roll. Ball of the foot broadening onto the floor, toes broadening and lengthening onto the floor with that left knee bent. Reach your left hand down, whether onto the fingertips or onto a brick. Right hand on the waist and point the toes. So here we're already bringing the weight more predominantly into the left leg. Inhale. Exhale. Raise the right leg and straighten the left leg. So as you raise the leg, lift the muscles of the inner thigh up into the thigh bone, and then lengthen the inner foot away from the groin, and start to turn the chest away from the floor. So as you turn your chest, sweep this left armpit chest forward, turn the right chest up, roll the right shoulder tip back, and squeeze the left buttock forward. If you're steady, top arm can go up. Direct your tailbone towards the top heel. Tailbone in. Navel lifting up. Then you can bend the left leg, lower the right leg, and come to stand up. Let's do Uttanasana again with heels up on our rolled up mat. Take your feet a little wider than hip width apart. Broaden the balls of the feet, broaden the toes. Inhale. Exhale. Forward and down. And as you fold down, perhaps you catch the elbows or hands to bricks or hands to the floor if you feel that you need that stability. Shoulder blades right up, the back towards your hips, but the arms are feeling like a pendulum. Smooth, steady breathing. Slowly raise your head up, hands to the waist. Inhale and stand all the way up. And let's stand in Tadasana one last time. Legs together, tailbone down, pubis to navel up, stretch to the fingertips. Settle your gaze on one point and get steady there. Then as you're ready, you can release and step off your mat. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me. For more in-depth teaching, check out the video library on my website, heatherkitchenyoga.com.au. The link is in the description box below.